Welcome to the Breakthrough Zone with your host, Coach Sybil Kears. Make sure you're tuned in to future episodes so we can help you get your breakthrough. Hey everyone, this is Coach Sybil Kears with Boss Lady 101. Every Monday, you can visit us on the Sybil Kears Enterprise Facebook page, and you will see this podcast snippet that we will deliver every Monday faithfully, okay? We have a YouTube channel with Boss Lady 101. You can check out the link. It'll be in the comment section. Definitely swing by there, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can notify you every time we drop some more information and more content on that platform, okay? A lot of times people feel like they're in a rut or they're stuck spinning in circles, but we can't confuse movement with progress, okay? Because you can still be spinning in a circle and moving, but doesn't mean you're making any progress going anywhere, okay? So let's stop and figure out a path in which you can travel so that you can get it going and make it happen, okay? Many of my clients come to me not able to make it happen. It's not that they don't have the ideas. It's not that they don't have the commitment. It's not that they don't have the drive to do it, but they just don't know how to do it. It's kind of like they're in a vehicle, and I don't know if you have ever experienced this, but I most certainly have. You're in a vehicle, you got a full tank of gas, you got the key in the ignition when we used to have to use keys. Your foot is on the gas, you are the driver, you're in the driver's seat, and you're ready to go. But when you turn the ignition switch, it doesn't flip over. It doesn't turn over, as they say. It kind of stalls, right? Have you ever been there? Listen, I've been there, and it's the most frustrating thing to have everything you need to get on the road, but you can't because the vehicle won't go, okay? And so now we are going to do just that. We're going to break it down, get it or like a well-oiled machine so that now we can get it in gear and go, all right? So you have to understand that in order for you to know where you have to go, you have to set goals, okay? And you realize there's something more to life. There's something more that you want to do. There's places you want to go, things you want to accomplish. So you've established that at this point. You've established the fact that you have something more to contribute to your life, right? And so now you just don't quite know how to execute. And listen, when you don't know how to execute, what you do is you make excuses, okay? So excuses will leave you excused, okay? And we can't do that. We got to have you in it to win it, okay? So now that you've identified the fact that you know you have something more that you want to do, even if you don't know what that what is, but you know this is not how your story ends where you are right now, okay? So the first thing you should do is establish some goals. And there's going to be some categories that these goals will fall under, okay? You're going to have immediate, short-term, and long-term goals. What I want to kind of bring to light for you is that when you're in the process of goal setting, it is very important that you understand that you could do this in every area of your life. So if you're looking to be more productive in your work life, your home life, your business life, your personal growth, goals is the thing to get your mind wrapped around that you will have to do, all right? Giving yourself a clear picture of what you really want in life, is especially in the immediate future, or if it's years down the road, this is a way to keep yourself motivated and energized to take appropriate action. So, like I said, the first thing you should really do at this point is ask yourself this: what do I really want to do with my life? That is a question a lot of people may not be able to answer. Now, while you're asking yourself this, here I want you to do some things. I want you to remove any limitations of time, any restrictions of money, anything that would hinder you from accomplishing your goal. I want you to remove that. Anything that would distort your authentic answer to that question, remove that. Take that out of being considered when asking yourself this question. And just ask yourself, what do you really want to do with your life? Okay, and just assume that there's nothing that can stop you, nothing that will hinder you, and answer that question. Once you answer that question, those are your goals. Write them down. You have to write them down. And this is why. Everything that exists right now started with a thought. It started in someone's mind. From the device you're using to watch this on, Facebook was the start of someone's thought, buildings, cars, your bedroom set, the sheets that are on your bed. I mean, the cups that you use in your kitchen, the food that we eat, the ingredient. I mean, you name it, it started as someone's thought who made it into something that they can use outside of their brains, outside of their minds. Okay. And so part of that step in doing that and taking it from here, where it's kind of just a thought, and making it something that you can actually see in this world, you must start to write it down. The one thing that I'm going to teach on today for the remainder of our time is going to be called the SMART system, SMART. And yes, that is an acronym. Okay. So as you can see on your screen, you have SMART, and people use this as a way to stay on course when establishing their goals. Okay. So you see the very first thing is specific. That's what the S stands for. The M stands for measurable. The A stands for attainable. The R stands for relevant. And the T stands for time-based. All right. So let's talk about specific. Okay. So basically, your goal should be clear and specific. Otherwise, you won't be able to focus on your efforts, or you won't truly feel motivated to achieve it. Okay. So when you are in the process of drafting your goal, you should ask it the 5W questions. What do you want to accomplish? Why is this goal important? Who is involved in this goal? Where is it located? And which resources are or limits are involved? Okay. And then I want you to jot these 3 additional questions down. You want to ask yourself, are you passionate about it? Is it something that you wake up thinking about new ways to accomplish it? How, if you face a roadblock, how are you going to get around it to make sure you still accomplish it? Are you passionate about it? Do you invest in learning more about it? And do you have this burning desire to do it? Like, that's something you're passionate about. Okay. So even though it's something that you could do and you may enjoy doing, are you passionate about it? The next question is to ask yourself about this goal. Will it get you to your next level, wherever that may be? And the question that you ask, what will you do with your life? Is this goal going to help you get to the next level? And the third thing is a transparent, keep it real with yourself question. Do you have what it takes? Like in reference to seeds, these goals are your seeds, okay? And how you do your seeds will determine the type of harvest you will reap. Some things you will plant and it will germinate, but some things, some seeds do not need to be planted. They need to be eliminated, okay? So keep that in mind. So when you apply the 5 W's to your specific goal, ask it those 3 sub questions. Are you passionate about it? Will it get you to the next level? And do you have what it takes? And you will find and determine whether or not that goal needs to stay as one of your goals to germinate and become a harvest, or does it need to be eliminated? Okay. So let's go to thinking about what's measurable, the M. Okay, it's important to have measurable goals, meaning something that you can track your progress so that you can stay motivated. Okay, you got to assess your progress, because that's what helps you stay focused. That's what helps you meet deadlines. That's what keeps you feeling excited, because you're getting closer to achieving your goals. And listen, if it's something that you may not feel as confident in yourself in doing, can I tell you something? The more you accomplish things, the more confidence grows. This is no secret, but people don't realize it. Once you get over that hurdle of being fearful about it and you keep doing it, it gets easier to do. You get more excited about doing it. Okay. So the way to determine if your goal is measurable, you got to ask it some questions. How much, how many, and how will I know if it's accomplished? Okay. So let's say your goal is to become healthier because you want to lose weight, right? You have to at least know where you're starting to know how much weight you should lose to feel healthy, right? Then you'll have to know, what do you have to do? Okay, you may have to exercise. You may have to walk how many miles to get where you need to go? How many training sessions do you need to take with a personal trainer? I mean, you got to have a quantitative amount to know if you're doing it, right? So if you just say you want to lose weight and you'll just go to the gym whenever you feel like it, you're not able to measure that. But if you say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds, I'm going to go to the gym 4 times a week, and I'm going to work out for 30 minutes to an hour. Listen, now you have something to know if you were working towards accomplishing that goal. And how will you know when it's accomplished? You'll know when you've reached your goal. Or you will notice the improvements that you are making by staying the course. All right. So next we're going to go to the A, which is achievable. So your goal also needs to be realistic. It has to be attainable to be successful. So in other words, it should stretch your abilities, but still remain possible. Okay, when you set an achievable goal, you may be able to identify some things that you may have overlooked, some opportunities in the past, some other resources. But the point is, you will be able to bring it closer to it being attained. Okay, so be reasonable, be graceful with yourself, right? Be gentle with yourself. Yes, we want to stretch and push, but we don't want to do it in a way that we realize we've set a goal that we just cannot accomplish, because then that makes you feel like a failure, and that works against you. Does that make sense? All right. So in order to make sure that your goal is achievable, ask it these two questions. How can I accomplish this goal? And how realistic is the goal based on other constraints? For example, like financial factors or time constraints, okay? Make sure your goal is achievable. Be realistic with yourself, okay? Here's another tip. Be careful, be mindful of setting goals that someone else has the power over, okay? Like getting a promotion. You just want to make sure that getting a promotion is not to say that it's impossible, but like I said, the external factors have to be considered. Let's go to the R. Has to be relevant. So this step is about ensuring that your goals matters to you and that it also aligns with other relevant goals. So we all need support and assistance in achieving our goals, but it's important to retain control over them. So make sure that your plans drive you forward. And ways that you can do that is to ask it these questions. Does this seem worthwhile? Is this the right time? Does this match your other efforts or needs? Are you the right person to reach this goal? Is it applicable in the current socioeconomic environment that you are in? Whatever it is that you are striving for, you've already made sure that it was specific. You've been able to measure it. You've made sure it's achievable. You want to make sure that it's relevant to your growth. Like we asked earlier, is this going to get you to your next level? If that's not the case, then you may need to reevaluate the goal. Now let's move on to the T, time bound. Every goal needs a target date, okay? So you have to set deadlines. You have to be disciplined enough to follow those deadlines and focus on meanwhile you have focused on having something to work towards. Okay, this is part of the SMART goal criteria. Okay, a time-bound goal will usually answer these questions. When? When will it be done? When will I reach it? When do I have time to do it? What can I do 6 months from now? What can I do 6 weeks from now? What can I do today? And see, all of that is relevant to the immediate, short-term, and long-term goals. So if you are trying to accomplish a goal within the next year, okay, your immediate goal will be something you would do in 30 days. The short-term goal will be something you'll do within 6 to 8 weeks, and then your long-term goal will be reached in a year. So you set those priorities after you have your goal. So here's where I want to also kind of bring it back and reel it back in so that it kind of gets clear for you. Is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it relevant? And is it time bound? Okay. So if you were to take the time and work at establishing your goals and being realistic with yourself, making sure that you follow the steps we talked about, make sure that you go through the SMART strategy to make sure that it's basically something you can have as a goal. Don't forget to ask it those relevant questions. Are you passionate about it? Okay. Is it going to get you to the next level? Do you have what it takes? Make sure you understand how to establish an immediate, short-term, and long-term goal. Make sure you understand to give yourself enough time to accomplish the goals and be reasonable. Place reasonable expectations on yourself. Even if it's pushing yourself, be reasonable. Be gentle with yourself, okay? Give yourself enough time to understand that you may have a setback because listen, life happens, okay? But what you don't want to happen, the reason why we're doing this series of podcasts is because so many people have so many different things they're trying to do at the same time. I'm guilty of it, okay? I have several businesses and some of them I launched at the same time. But hey, I'm a great multitasker. But here's the thing, it's not always a good thing to be. Okay, especially when you're trying to figure some things out. Some things is going to require more of your attention than others. So when you have too many things going on, you're spreading yourself too thin, you're not as effective. So the goal is to narrow it down, make it happen. Listen, there's so many people that got so many different things. It's kind of like walking into a messy closet that you know you want to clean. If you're like me, I do not know where to start. So guess what? I'm just not going to start. It's just too much. I don't know how to start. So I don't. Right. And so you got to understand that when you do this process, you're going to have to eliminate some things that you want to do and focus on the things that you need to do. So it's kind of like, look at your kitchen. You have a whole bunch of ingredients in the cabinets, in the refrigerator, in the freezer, in your pantry, whatever. And when you make a meal, you don't use every single thing in your kitchen, right? But you know it's there. So it's the same thing. Yeah, you have a lifetime of things you want to accomplish, but it doesn't mean all of it is required for you to put your attention towards at that moment. Okay. So focus on what you need for this meal right now. Get it out, master it, learn it, then move on to the next thing. So if you have multiple different goals you're trying to work on at the same time, how much stress are you putting on yourself? Then if you were to just focus on this and master it, apply the SMART system, make sure it's something you're passionate about, give it your all, give it everything you've got, make it happen. And once it's going, now you can kind of relax and get back into a place where you can now say, let's see if there's another goal I need to tackle. Okay. If you have too many seeds in your hands, if you plant various types of vegetables and don't have a way of organizing it and doing it the right way, you'll have a catastrophe as a harvest. But if you take the time and plant what you need to plant, where you need to plant it, give it the attention it needs and allow it to grow, giving it enough space to get as big as it's going to get before you go planting something else in that same area, you will find that you will have a better outcome and a better harvest. I hope that this was helpful to you. So definitely make sure you come back. Make sure you visit us on the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Drop us some comments. We're going to make sure that we try to keep this information short, sweet, but relevant. Okay. Hopefully you got a breakthrough on today. I'm Coach Sybil Kears, and for today, that's all I got. Much love and success. God bless.